What is up, Sooner Nation? Welcome to the Sooner Surge, the nightly podcast that tells it like it is. What a great semifinal game. And Steve Sarkisian is going to be haunted by that last series of play calls. And Jack Sawyer makes a game-winning play. And in my opinion, Art should have been in on the 1 yard line. Steve Sarkisian proving again he can't win the big one with that kind of play calling at the goal line.
And I think he had Sark called a great drive that last time. Great drive. Ha, 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 Jackson, you're hilarious. Great drive. But then they got down to the one, and I agree, they kind of the pitch play killed. You can't pitch it. You cannot pitch it from the 1 yard line. I think that was a mistake against Ohio State, and they lost yards and it put them in a hole. But, yeah, I think this was a great game. And actually, it went kind of the way I thought it was going to go. I thought the defense for Texas would keep them in the game, and they did. The play before the half killed Texas, and then obviously that play at the end, it was bad. But it was a good game. I liked it. It was a good game. So,
hey,
great goal line
Texas fans are going to lose their mind because if Arch is in at the 2 yard line, they're scoring. Four plays with Arch, they're going to score there. He missed. Quinn Ewers made a couple of great throws. He missed a lot of guys tonight. And then you have the strip sack.
Hey, and I got to say this. Well, never mind. I'm not going to say it. Sooner fans erupted in here at Buffalo Wild Wings. I don't understand why Sooner fans. I know you don't like Texas, but I'd give anything to be in the playoff right now as an OU fan. So,
hey, by the way, Sooner fan says, can we stop the Jim Knowles talk? Why? This doesn't affect it. And by the way, anyone who doesn't want Jim Knowles at OU, I don't know what you've been watching. And by the way, another thing, Ohio State's run defense is too good. Texas was running the ball some on them. On the 4th and 1 play, they got about 13 yards.
Not very good. This game, to me, came down to, the play before half killed Texas. They had all the momentum. Texas kind of, between the second and third quarters, kind of dominated the game other than the 75-yard touchdown pass, screen pass. They kind of dominated the middle quarters. But then the first and fourth quarter, and obviously down the stretch, if they score there and tied up, who knows what happened.
You don't want – Sooner fan, you don't want him at OU, or you just saying he won't leave? We already went over this.
Yeah. Mr. B says Ewers didn't win that game. He didn't lose it either.
Both teams made a lot of errors tonight.
Ohio State made important plays to win the game. Correct, Jackson. I'm going to still pick Notre Dame next week, so we'll see what happens.
I actually am too, Jay. I actually am too, mainly because they're a lot like Michigan.
Well, one thing I said before this game, that the reason I picked Texas was I said I think Texas defense, when Ohio State plays a really good defense, and they did. Texas defense. What does Smith have? One catch? I think he might have one catch, but
not very many. Hey, the other thing that's funny is if Notre Dame just got $20 million and they don't have to split it with the conference. They're loaded right now.
Yeah, that's the thing right now with the conference. If you're not in a conference, you make they're making banking money right now. Notre Dame is. It's crazy. Yeah. Hey, I hope OU beats Texas next year, Benjamin. I would hope so, but right now I'm not picking that to happen. Can't pick that right now. I need to see some games from OU and some games from Texas.
Yes, Eric is still around. He's in the Discord tonight.
Yeah, Crystal. Crystal's a member, isn't she?
She needs to join the Discord.
Texas surprised me with the O-line holding off OU. Well, really, though, Ohio State.
They didn't hold them off that great.
Ohio State was only rushing 4. Here's the thing about Texas, though. They do so much play action and fake handoffs that sometimes after Ewers does this, it's a slow developing. After he does it, he has somebody in his face. So
now this is interesting. The 918 says his theory on Knowles is that Knowles' DC reached out because of the fiance thing. OU didn't even think it was a possibility. Now, hey, people want me to spill the news. It has to do with the fiance. I just know someone who was with them, or who I don't want to give too much detail, but it's the fiance that moving back to this area.
Join Discord. You'll see. Great God says, yeah.
But hey, I'll say it again. I'll say it again. The fact that OU has not made a hire should tell you something.
We'll see. We'll see. Next week, pulling for Notre Dame, Tom says, hey, here's the thing. You got to love it. Two good games in the semifinals. Those were both good games.
Now, it's really Marcus Freeman against his former team.
Correct. I think it's a great matchup. I think it's a great matchup.
It's going to be interesting if Notre Dame, who has some really good secondary, if they choose to play two high safeties, or if they choose to do something different. I like how Texas played Ohio State.
Yeah. Now, Notre Dame's a little banged up offensive line wise. They got two guys that got injured. So, and
Ohio State threw a pick. Sorry, Ohio State intercepted for a tutty.
No, now what is it? 28.
No, it's 35-14.
Jeez, now it looks way bad. But hey, you know who's a stud? Downs is a stud. He is unbelievable.
Yeah, and if Jim Knowles comes here, Kendall Daniels could be that guy, that position anyway.
Hey, a lot of people I think will pick Ohio State in this game. I wouldn't surprise me, and it's not going to surprise me if Ohio State wins. I'm going to stick with Notre Dame. I think Notre Dame wins the game, but
Jim Knowles is not married. He has a fiance. He just got engaged this last December, like very recently, Jay.
Yeah, December. It was in mid-December, I believe. Just happened.
Jay, a lot of people came on here last week at this time and said, sorry, I'm not watching it, Crystal. Said this game, there was no chance of it being close.
Jerm, I don't
care. Answer this, Jay. If I would have said before the game that Ohio State would only score 2 touchdowns on offense, would you have thought Texas would have won?
I would have thought it had been in close. I thought it was going to be a pretty low scoring game, to be honest. I really did. I do think Ewers, he sometimes can struggle getting through the reads and seeing who. I think that's probably his biggest struggle going into the NFL. I think that's his biggest struggle.
Yeah, you're correct. It is 3 TDs. I forgot about the one right before half. Shouldn't have forgotten about that one. That was maybe the biggest play of the game.
Yeah. So
interesting that Golden went out and then all of a sudden comes back in. Where was it?
Comes back in. Hey, yeah. It was a good game for the most. I mean, you can't. You're down 7 points. You have the ball in the 1 yard line with 3 minutes left to tie the game. It's a good game. I liked it.
Listen, Texas fans that are on there, everyone. It was scripted for Arch Manning to score the game-tying tutty, and Sark did not go to it. That's a horrible decision on Steve Sarkisian. Quinn Ewers is turnover prone. If you're going to run the ball, it's got to be Arch in there. Do the same play they did on 4th and 1 with Gunnar Helm going behind center and snapping it to Arch. He got 12 yards on it.
Yeah. Jackson said, is Sark going to have a similar career to Riley? Are you saying as far as losing in playoffs? Here's the thing. He's already got a better career than Riley because he has defenses at Texas. Riley never had a defense. I mean,
and hey,
Grinch was decent that 1 year. They were decent, but
Herbie's usually very fair. He doesn't really promote Ohio State that much, in my opinion.
Yeah,
I could do without the dog and everything. But
hey, it was a good game. Now you have and no SEC team, Big Ten. I mean, you could argue that the Big Ten was. Here's the thing. I still think from top to bottom, the SEC is better. I still think it's better, but you can definitely argue that. I mean, they put how many there in the Final Four? 8. They had 3 in the Final 8 or 4. I'm trying to think off the top of my head. Sark, next head coach at Dallas.
Hey, Kevin. Hey, fan stop. After that debacle of a play calling series, where he basically just crapped down his leg.
Stop. He had a great play calling series to get down there. Great calls.
Yes, but after that, what I'm saying, Jay, is that will haunt him. He will sleep and think about that all the time. The last 2 years, they've had a chance, Jay.
There's one play call, and Chris says it right here. Chris says it right here. It was the second down pitch. That was the killer. The second down pitch play, I think, killed. Then you're at third and goal from the 5. That was a killer play. You're not going to – guys, if you watch any film on Ohio State, Caleb Downs is basically a free runner every play, the way they set up the defense. He's a free runner. You know he's going to be a free runner on a pitch play.
It's called the Leo position.
Yeah.
It's what Jim Knowles employs as the Leo position, and I wanted that OU, an Okie Lawn guy. Yeah, I did listen to the game. I've listened to Kirk Herbstreit all year. He's not biased towards Ohio State. In fact, sometimes he's the opposite. And by the way, his other son's going to Michigan. Yeah, I said it. Michigan.
Big Ten speed was the difference, Ron says. Like button, hit it, horns. Ryan Day saved his job at Ohio State. No, he wasn't getting fired. A lot of people said after the Michigan game, but I think what they've done in the playoffs, beating Tennessee, Oregon, and now Texas, I mean, yeah, you can argue that, yeah, that's the best resume right now going into the national championship game. Is that a better resume than Notre Dame's in the playoff? Yes. Notre Dame has the win over Georgia.
Ohio State has clearly the best resume.
I am picking Notre Dame because what I watch their defense, I think they're going to slow Ohio State down, aka what Texas did, and I think they might make some more plays. I think it's going to be a 7-point game regardless, and yeah, Ohio State can win the game. I'm not going to say they can't win the game. Sooner for Uhr spit on his hand so much is why they lost.
Hey, no word on the Waffle Brothers, the guy from Michigan and his brother. No word.
Haven't heard. Waffle House is still open. Hey, the Hub, that fumble. Did that not bring back memories of Arnold in Missouri?
Why are we talking of that?
It did to me. Hey, so college football till next week now. Now you got, or a week and a half, whatever it is. Now you got NFL football tomorrow, playoff start.
And by the way, he wasn't going to be fired. Ryan Day was not going to be fired, according to people that I've talked to. But, Jay, I was calling for it all game about Ohio State had a chance to run the ball, run the Will Howard more, and they just didn't. The last drive they did down there and then gave it to Judkins there at the goal line, and they score. And then Jack Sawyer, a lot of people don't like him. I like him.
He's good, and so's that 44, Tillamuli.
Now, Jay, so now about the Jim Knowles stuff. Here's the deal. If OU goes another week without any news, there's something to it. And by the way, people who want to say, why would you leave Ohio State if you want a natty? To go win it somewhere else. I mean, you've already done it there.
Yeah. As bad as OU was, if they rushed Ewers every play, they had a chance.
It's why they beat him last year. Last year.
They started off pretty good against him this year, the first few drives, but then it was Katie barred the door.
Here's what I'll say, Dalpois. I don't think he's likely to go for the NFL unless Jerry Jones comes calling. If that happens, he's going.
Yeah, I don't think he's leaving Texas either. I mean, you got Arch Manning there. I don't think he's leaving anytime soon. Now,
hey, if you're Arch Manning, are you disappointed tonight?
No, he probably knew he wasn't going to play, Germ.
Oh, I guarantee you Jake, every short yardage on 2 or 1 yard, they've been going to him, Jay.
Why do you always try to put a narrative out there that he's angry now? Nobody, I mean.
I'm not. I asked you if you would be.
No, I don't. I don't think he is.
Okay. I think he is. He could have tied the semifinal game by being in the game, and they didn't go to it.
He might have been angry earlier. He might have been angry earlier in the year that he didn't play any, but I don't think by now.
Do you want me to tell you even a dumber play? Didn't they bring the big fullback in on the pitch out? The big 92 man?
No, I don't think he was in there.
Mez, let me say it again. Jim Knowles just got engaged December to a lady who lives in Weatherford. She has a son who's a senior at Weatherford. Yes, Weatherford, Oklahoma. That's correct. That's what we were talking about yesterday.
He was in the play before, not the pitch.
Okay. They should have given him the ball. So
I don't know, Sooner Cowboy.
Hey, let's go ahead and open these phone lines tonight.
Hey, and let me answer Chuck real quick while we get the phone line in there. Chuck says, you're not going to choose a team that beat your Longhorns, Jay. First off, they're not my Longhorns. I don't like Texas Longhorns. I have a person that picks unbiased when I pick games. And I thought Texas would beat Ohio State. And you know what? With 3 minutes left, they were on the 1 yard line to tie it up. So it's not like they weren't in the game. Okay. And I was wrong. Guys, I have no problem admitting that I picked the game wrong. Okay. Now, next week, I have said for probably a month and a half to 2 months, I'm picking Notre Dame to win it all. They have done nothing to tell me they're going to not win it all. In my opinion, they've actually proved me when I pick them and like, okay, so I'm going to stick with it. They may absolutely lose to Ohio State for sure. Yeah. Ohio State's a really good team, guys. A really good team.
Yeah, I did pick Ohio State, but I was just on the side that said anyone who thinks it's just going to be a blowout, in my opinion, hasn't watched football, because you never know with football. You just never know.
Jimmy's dead on. It's going to be a great game, I think. I know a lot of people think blowout. I've already seen Greg and a few others say blowout, 3 touchdowns. I don't think it'll be that way. What else was it? Glad it was another good game, Jen says. There's a funny comment in here I'm not going to show. I predict the turnover in the Discord was magical. No one noticed. Hey, I did notice, Mr. B, but
I saw that.
It's hard for me sometimes in the Discord because my TV's behind, so I kind of put it down for a minute so I don't see it on the Discord before it actually happens. And then when I look, I've already missed it. So, but yeah, you're right.
And what an overtime game this could have been.
Yeah.
You got to score from the 2 yard line.
Downs is that guy.
It was the 1 yard line. They got to the 2, and then they got an interference. And Chris, I was in the Discord texting and I said, Arch has to be in. They don't do it any. If I'm Arch, I'm ticked off. And Sark it's gonna haunt Steve Sarkisian for years until they win one, because this was his opportunity to beat Ohio State, and he puked down his leg. I want to know, I haven't followed Texas super closely, Jay, but probably 6 times out of 10 or 7 times out of 10, short yardage, Arch is in. They did it earlier, got 12 yards. They didn't put him in. Bad coaching. Bad coaching. Bad coaching.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, and it snowballed on him.
Okay, call it.
Hey,
what I saw in Ohio State's defense won in the game tonight. Facts. Ohio State's offense, which has been absolutely phenomenal, wasn't great tonight. Jim Knowles' defense won the game with constant pressures, with great tackling, with big-time plays. Do I want Jim Knowles, the top dog DC in the country at OU? Absolutely.
Yeah, hey, Greg God. I was saying, I said Notre Dame, Ohio State. People have said 3 touchdowns already.
Oh, Greg God. A lot of people last week after the Ohio State Oregon game got on here and just came at us about, it's over. Ohio State's in the Natty automatically. It's going to be a blowout. The big argument was the way Ohio State's played, the next game is going to be the same way. And all I said was, you never know day by day. You just never know.
Hey, serious question here. What do you think Caleb Downs, he's got another year. What do you think he's getting paid next year?
I mean, a lot, Jay.
Serious. Don't you think? Okay, here's a great question. I'd like to know y'all's answer in the chat too. For a guy that plays his position, he's going to be getting paid more in college than he is in NFL off the bat, don't you think?
Highest paid safety in the nation.
Don't you think he'll get more in college next year than you would if he went pro?
Couple of. I think a couple.
I think more than
Eric,
that.
Couple million. Eric, yes, Ohio State, especially the last 2 weeks. Tonight, the defense looked the part. For sure. The defense has played well all playoffs. The offense struggled tonight, but yes, they look the best. They look the best.
Hey, here's what I'll say.
They're the most complete team, but I'm going to say it again. It's football. You just never know.
Hey, here's what I'll say, and I want to answer Eric's question. Based on who they beat, Tennessee, Oregon, and Texas. If you're comparing them to Notre Dame and who Notre Dame beat, yes, for sure. I believe that Notre Dame is really good team, both sides of the ball. I think they're balanced. I think it'll be a great game. Either team could win. I'm sticking with Notre Dame because I've done it for 2 months. They haven't done anything to say that they're getting worse, so I'm sticking with them, okay? But, yeah, that's totally fair to say Ohio State. Look who they beat, okay? And yeah, they're beating really good teams. Daniel Brooks says this will be Texas' last chance of getting an Natty before OU in the new era. Too bad, so sad, no tears from, hopefully.
Yeah. Hey, Daniel, Steve Sarkisian, I mean, he's got to be – there's no way he's not second guessing, not bringing the short yardage art there. And Clark, this is what I'm talking about. Last week when people,
well, they might beat him.
They might, and they might not. I mean, and by the way, they haven't beaten anyone, but they've beaten who they need to beat. Is the point Jay's making, isn't it?
Well, no, my point is that they it was a couple months ago when I picked them to win it all. All I'm saying is my opinion from what I watched, they haven't done anything to say they're getting worse, or I'm not going to, I think they're not any good anymore. But hey, Notre Dame needs to pick a conference. Aaron says the fact that they get all the money by themselves through the playoffs and championship game is crazy. Hunter, drop them mounts in here. I know we talked about it earlier.
14,000 last round, 20. They've got $34,000 last 2 weeks.
No,
and they share it with
million.
Sorry, I mean 34 million, and they share it with no one.
Correct. There it is right there. Notre Dame television deal with NBC is $50 million. The playoff payout of $20 million moves Notre Dame to $70 million annually, nearly identical to the high rent financial neighborhoods of the Big Ten teams. Not 30.
Yeah.
So,
hey, and Bob, I agree with you. Break the bank. Make him the highest paid assistant in the entire country. BB needs to leave it alone and say, you do your thing. I'm going to be over here to motivate players. That's what I'm doing. I'm going to be what Marcus Freeman is. I'm going to motivate and try to lead with what I can do best. Jim Knowles, you do your thing.
Hey, Okie Lawn, we talked about this a little bit in the Discord. People did. Will Howard, I don't think Will Howard
played great tonight.
I don't think he played great. He's got so many weapons around him, and he didn't have those guys at K-State. But guys, go back and look. All right, here's a little homework assignment real quick. I don't know whoever can find it the fastest for me. Right now, go tell me the last 10 national championship winners, and then tell me who their quarterbacks are. And tell me
there haven't been just elite quarterbacks.
Tell me and I think it was Mr. B or Eric in the Discord tonight was comparing Ohio State to kind of what Georgia or Alabama teams did with just quarterbacks that were good, but not just unbelievable, but they built it around everything else. And I think that's legit.
Hey, Jeremiah Smith, they played 2 safeties high. They took him out of the game. Hey, by the way, Ron, go back to early in the year. I know I don't know much because I'm kind of dumb, but whatever. But as you say a lot, Ron, or maybe you say you make these comments. But Ron, I did say Will Howard, in my opinion, would be better than DG, and he's proven to be. He's made bigger plays when it matters.
Yeah, and Sooner fan said it earlier, too, about a quarterback. And there you are, Bishop, J.J. McCarthy, Stetson Bennett. Okay, hey, look at Daniel's comment here. If it's not Knowles, Jerm, have y'all said who your second option would be?
I probably a guy like Phil Parker. Hey, Eric, I watched the game. I know some stats. I thought it was his worst performance of the playoff.
No, he played a good game. I just think it was nothing like over the top.
Yeah,
crazy.
I didn't think he played great.
He missed a couple open guys, but hey.
Didn't recognize a couple pressures, but.
In fact, I'd have to look because the first half I glanced at and he was like, I think 11 of 20 or something. So he had a better second half for sure. And the 75-yard screen pass helped with the yardage for sure.
Yeah, that play there was a huge play.
Hey, good enough to win the game and 0 turnovers, period. Man,
they got a good break. Off on fire, Jay, with the back.
They got a good break on that sack. Hit the like. Appreciate it. Jeremiah Smith was not targeted. That's right. No way BV changes defense while he's on the hot seat. And Daniel asked who would the second person be that we would pick, that I would pick. Well, I don't know if even Knowles would be an option. So I don't even know if he'd be my first. I mean, okay. I think it's going to be somebody that's BV's going to run it. But.
Okay. And I think the phone lines are open. Check out the Fan Stop at thefanstop.com. You can see the logo in the bottom right corner. thefanstop.com, officially licensed gear. Sign up for the Shirt of the Month Club. Use code SURGE so you can get 10% off your first 3 months. The phone line's pinned at the top. Call in. I've got to ask you something, Jay, because you just said a phrase that I'm having a hard time with. I'm having a hard time with a lot of people who are saying it.
Wouldn't be the first time.
It's a phrase that, look, I just don't know if there's even any chance that there's even been any talk going on. If there hasn't, okay, then what's OU doing? Why has Wes Goodwin not been announced or Brandon Hall? Obviously, OU's doing something. OU is waiting on something to make a hire, correct?
Jeremy, how would you know that?
Otherwise, Jay, if they're not waiting, they would have hired someone. So they're waiting.
I don't have confidence that they would have. I don't know what sometimes I don't know.
Wait, Jason, are you ridiculous? If they haven't made a hire, they're waiting on something.
Or they just haven't made a hire yet, Jeremy. I don't know.
Because they're waiting on something.
And maybe so, Jeremy. You might be right.
Jason, same thing for you in anything you do.
Didn't they wait?
If you don't do it, you're waiting on something.
Didn't they wait a while to hire Zach Alley after Ted Roof?
I'd have to look at when. Jay, that's because we knew they were going to get someone.
I don't want to argue about it. I mean, hey, we got a caller on the line. We got Landon. What's up, Landon? How are you tonight?
Oh, guys, doing good.
What's up?
Just got done watching the game.
What'd you think?
I think Ohio State is going to win. I'm a Tennessee fan, so ever since they beat the crap out of us, I've been saying they're probably going to win it all.
They could. They definitely could. I think it'll be a good game next week. I did.
And Notre Dame is stout. I mean, they're going to have to play really well up front. That's where if they're going to have an advantage, they're going to have to play very well in the trenches.
Yep.
They got to be able to run the football.
Yeah, and they got 2 offensive linemen that were injured, so that's going to be important to see what they do.
If they can run the football, though, it could be a great game because if they can't run the ball, it's going to be tough.
Yeah, if they can't, I think that's pretty much the story of the game. If Notre Dame can't run, and Jeremiah Love, he's kind of banged up too.
He looked good last night, though.
Yeah,
he didn't get on the goal line on that 2-yard run, but he's not. He was breaking 70-yard runs.
Yeah. I'm hoping for a really good game. That's what I'm hoping for.
Yeah, I think it should be a good game for sure.
Yep. Anything else, Landon?
How are y'all feeling about y'all's the transfer portal? Oklahoma's additions or people that's left?
I mean,
well, I think you got the quarterback you wanted when Arbuckle's coming. You got a few defensive guys that I really like. I think I'm still waiting to see what they got offensively because the receivers they got, I have to see it. You know what I mean? I have to see it. They definitely weren't a top. You know, I think I saw the SEC rankings today on the portal. I know OU was like 14th or 15th in the portal. So, but you know what?
And Jay, did you notice the rankings outside of Texas? I believe Texas was the only team that's in the playoff that was even had top 15, 16 portal. That's interesting. The portal, like Ohio State, doesn't have many guys from the portal this year. Now they have them in the key spots. Hey, Landon, thanks for the call. I know we got
appreciate it.
We got Bobby on the line. I think outside of the on portal, Mateer's a win. I think Marvin and Kendall Daniels are wins. Outside of that, it's and maybe one receiver I think will pan out really good. But what's up, Bobby?
Do you think the reason why they haven't announced a defensive coordinator is because it's probably somebody in-house already, and they're just like,
well, I think what Jerm is saying is that they would have already announced it. And I was playing a little devil's advocate, Jerm, with you. I mean, the obvious thing would be that they haven't made a decision yet. Is why they've waited. But I don't know,
Bobby. If they're going to hire Brandon Hall or Todd Bates or Wes Goodwin from Clemson, why wouldn't they have that done right now? That's
I see what
question.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, maybe they're trying to wait and see if they can get Knowles in. Who knows?
That could be a possibility. They're just waiting to see if they can talk to him and see what they can do. Maybe they can get him.
Yeah, if not, if they can't get him, they'll probably just have BV run it. You know, so I guess it's probably just a wait and see thing.
You're right. And here's the thing, Bobby. What does it hurt to try to get him? Because if not, you can always fall back and get the guys we've already mentioned.
Oh yeah.
Wes Godwin he's no longer has a job.
It's good one, Jay. It's good one.
I always say Godwin. I got basketball in my mind. Hey, Anything else, Bobby?
So he knows Venable's defense perfectly, right? So if we got that guy from Clemson in, does he?
I think Brent Venables would be calling it. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Wes Goodwin knows the scheme perfectly.
He would come in to coach linebackers probably and help scheme it, but I think Brent Venables might call the plays.
Right. Okay. All right. Good night, guys.
Hey, have a good one. People saying CJ Ayu coming
CJ Ayu, no, come on. Now. We're going from Jim Knowles to CJ Ayu.
Not for DC. I mean, be on the staff somehow, but I agree they can be a lot better with Arbuckle, but not sold on the O lineman. Sorry, Jay, I meant Germ. Where's the number to call in? I'm fired up. Okie Long Guy says, hey, Okie, it's
call it in, buddy. Let's go. I'm here for it.
I'm here, Okie. Call in. It's at the top, pinned. If not, we can drop it again, but it should be pinned at the top.
If you're going to come at me about my take with Kirk Herbstreit, fine. Stay off the psychic hotline. On a gonna get you, Mr. B says. Hey, Ernie, here's where I'm going to, I guess, disagree a little. In my opinion, if it hasn't worked, now the defense has gotten better, but you're not talking about changing an entire thing. That's what I'm saying. You're not changing everything, in my opinion, at that point. And Crystal says, Jerem, you're really smart. Hey, thanks. I'm not that smart, actually. I know all the player profile stats by memory, but this leadership has trashed it. When you, what do you, I'm confused. I would say move on, but why? Because they're not going to. Why talk about it?
Hey, we'll see. It'll be here before.
Jay, do you wish you would have stuck with your Ohio State Notre Dame pick from about 2 months ago?
Well, I was looking at my phone because I took a picture of it a while back. I couldn't remember when I did it. It was pretty early, and now obviously I wish I would have. But Ohio State, I mean Ohio State's a really good team. Okay, I kind of as soon as they lost to Michigan, I jumped off for a second. Probably should have stuck with them. Hey, it's all good in the neighborhood. They're a good team. We got Okie Lawn. What's up, Okie Lawn? How are you?
Oh, I am so fired up right now. It ain't even silly.
What are you fired up about?
Jeremy? Oh, my goodness. Okay.
Get him, Okie Lawn guy. What do you got? I mean,
dude. Maybe you just didn't watch the Ohio State games that Herbstreit called. Maybe you just watched games of other teams he called. I was just now listening to him talk, and I was getting nauseous. And he's on the Scott Van Pelt show right now. He started, you could see in his eyes and hear it in his voice, he was getting absolutely choked up talking about them like he was about to cry. The guy should not be. I understand that, but you cannot tell me that he's not a homer. He should not be allowed to be calling the national championship game because he's a former Ohio State Buckeye and his son plays for the team. And you cannot have a guy calling a game who's one-sided like that. It's absolutely terrible.
His other son's going to Michigan, and he has bashed. Didn't he have a son that went to Clemson? He's ripped Ohio State for things. Now,
are you serious?
I'm not going to say I love Kirk Herbstreit all the time because I don't love him all the time. But
why are you standing up for Kirk Herbstreit for?
Because I think he's not a biased guy. But hey,
are you serious?
If you're going to go with I don't like the dog thing. That's the biggest thing I have. Hey, listen. Hey, if you're going to say that though, then John Madden, the great John Madden, should have never called a Raider game. I mean, like you can't do that.
Yes, you can. This is college. This ain't professional sports.
Brought me a quote in that he said tonight that showed true homerism.
Oh my! It's so you don't have to have quotes. It's so thick you can't even stand it.
The only thing I dislike is the dog everywhere. That's it.
Come on, Jeremy. Really?
I heard him say great call by Steve Sarkisian. I heard him talking a lot.
He was on Ohio State all night. He barely said anything good about Texas. I mean, I can't stand Texas.
Should Greg McElroy call Bama games?
Well, barely.
You can't
What?
keep guys from calling the
Hey,
games.
Greg McElroy, at least Kirk Herbstreit with 20 seconds left in the game. Did you hear Greg McElroy last night? He said Notre Dame, if they get out in the open, they need to fall down. They don't need to score and give the other team time. What? Did you hear him last night, Jay?
I heard him call the game last night.
There were 20 seconds left in the game. Notre Dame, he said, don't settle for you got to settle for the field goal. If you have a wide open touchdown, fall down. You don't want to give the other team 8 seconds to go score a tutty. What is he talking about?
I don't know.
I think he was talking about he wanted to. I think he was talking about you want to bleed the clock down, and that you want to leave as much time leave the least amount of time on the clock, and then kick the field goal. Don't leave him a lot of time. That's how I understood it.
I'll go rewatch it now. Here, let me say my whole thing here, Okie, long guy, and it's this. Am I a huge Kirk Herbstreit fan? No. But my complaint about Kirk Herbstreit is never that he's biased. I think he's pretty fair. Now, I'm not a huge, great fan of his. And by the way, you know who Kirk Herbstreit has loved maybe as much as any team in the country? OU. Fact.
Oh, no way.
Absolutely.
Hey,
he's a huge Bob Stoops and Brent Venables fan.
All right. Hey, Jeremy. Hey, got a question for you.
Yeah.
Can we still be friends?
Always. Hey, Okie, I love this.
Hey, thanks for calling, Okie. Have a good one.
I love it, man. Appreciate it.
Have a good one, Okie.
I don't like the dog stuff though. But
hey, let's get to Greg. Greg, you're on the line. What's up?
Hey guys, a good game tonight. Horns down forever. This was almost like the Buckeye surge for a while. Towards the end of that game there, but so if the rumors are true and that maybe the whole fiance thing and whatnot could be leading Jim Knowles to Oklahoma, I'm all for it. But if that's the case, this lady here, this mystery fiance, is either just an incredible woman, or she is so persuasive that we might need to hire her as like head of recruiting or something like that. Maybe we can make that happen if she can pull these strings and get him to leave this incredible situation at Ohio State to come to Oklahoma. Listen, if that's what's up, we need her bad. She needs to be on the staff somehow, recruiting players or something else.
Well, here's what I would say, Greg, and I've heard, quote, other things about Jim Knowles and Ohio State, but I don't want to talk on those because I don't have any kind of source or have anything that they're truth. But the one thing that continues and that I do have the source on is the fact that the fiance is here, and this would be, where they could, where they would live, especially with other family here. But again, you're right. Head of recruiting, something, because to be the dog at Ohio State like he is right now. Hey, by the way, if they win the Natty, they're going to up his salary about $1 million at Ohio State.
Oh yeah.
You did.
No doubt. Now, is he too old though? I mean, I don't think 59, 60. Is that pushing it? Do we want younger guys? What do you think?
I think it depends on what you're doing. If he's coming in to do it, or if you're bringing somebody in to have BV do it.
Hey, NFL's got a lot of old guys still coaching.
Yeah, true. It'll be interesting to see what happens. I think we need some fresh blood in the coach's office, and I think if it's him, I'm all for it. We'll see. Who knows?
We will. We'll see.
Hey, thanks, Greg. Hey, Jay, for all the talk, because you've done it, I've done it, and this is where I'm a little confused, maybe by your take.
Okay,
I'm a little confused here, Jay.
Let me clear up my take, but ask me a question. I'll clear up my take.
All off season, we've been saying, both of us. When I say we, I mean both of us, even Hunter. This BV ties and OU ties needs to go.
Correct.
Yet for some reason on the DC, there's a lot of people, and I started here and I changed my tune quickly when I heard a name like Jim Knowles. There's a lot of people who say, yeah, got to let BV call it. What?
No. I've said this for days upon days upon days. I don't know if you have a hearing issue or what. Maybe it's because you're so loud talking that you have a hearing. That could be it. You yell a lot. Maybe you can't hear. I've said for days that my problem is not as far as like going to get Knowles. My problem is, will BV be able to take his hands off that and not do anything with the defense. That's been my holdup on it. Because has he proven to you that he's going to do that? Because didn't Zach Alley want a little more?
Jay, you're saying that, but did he? I don't know.
I don't know. I'm asking the question, Jerm. I just think
I have no idea, Jay.
Okay, let me ask you this. Why not last year go after? Why go get Zach Alley last year?
I told you this on the phone earlier. Do you remember? You don't have a photographic memory on me, but I'll tell you again. Okay? I told you and Hunter this. He tried it with Levy and Latrell. He tried it with Roof and Alley. He really thought that bringing a guy who knew the scheme and his guy, that they would be able to turn it around. And now maybe he's looking in the mirror and saying, you know what? I got to be like Bob Stoops did. I got to be like Marcus Freeman. I got to be like Ryan Day.
Hey, Jerm, I'm for that if they do it, but I don't know if they will, Jerm. Okay, that's all I'm saying. And Marcus, I don't want it. I do not. I said this a few weeks ago. I'm not a fan of the Wes Goodwin stuff. I wouldn't like Wes Goodwin at Oklahoma. If you're going to do that, I'd rather just promote Skalski to linebacker coach and just go with what I'm not a fan of Goodwin. Okay, I'm not a fan of
let me combat two things. One, I'm not an insider. Do I have a couple of sources? Absolutely, I do. I promise you I do. I'm not an insider, though. I don't claim to be. Secondly, I have two dogs. One is my dad's dog who's at the assisted living, so I have his dog here, a big black lab. We also have a little bitty lap dog. I've never touched either one of them, okay? I don't love dogs. I'm not against having him here. The people that are calling me dog haters, that's a little bit much, a little extreme. Like, I'm not a huge dog fan, but I'm not a dog hater. I just think the Kirk Herbstreit, I don't know why we're on that.
I think it's because you've mentioned it a few times, so that's what I mean.
I'm not mentioning being a dog hater. I said I don't like the
you say you like everything about Kirk Herbstreit, but not the dog. I mean,
yes, Jay, because is every analyst now going to do that? Can they?
Jeremy, I don't know about that.
That's my point.
I don't know.
Look, Kirk
in the house
right. Hey, the Kirk Herbstreit hate about bias though is strange because he's not biased, and I am scared of dogs. When I was 4 years old, fine. When I was 4 years old, we had a Cocker Spaniel named Buffy that jumped on me all the time. Jay knows this. So as I got scared because the dog jumped on me, we grew up. When I saw a dog, what did I do, Jay? What did I do when I saw a dog?
You jumped on the countertops in the kitchen.
And I ran. And what happens when you're a kid and you run from dogs, Jay?
You fall?
No, they chase you. And then it's never ending. You're scared. Yes, that's the story of my life. I'm scared of dogs and I can't tread water. Okay? If that's the two worst things about me, hallelujah. Hallelujah.
Hey, I gotta share.
I'm so proud and blessed.
Hey, I have to share a funny story. I don't do this very often, but I got to share this since Jeremy has went down this road. One morning, it had to have been, 6:30 in the morning. We hear just, you're muted. What?
Can I tell the story? Because I know which story it is.
No, because you'll probably not tell the truth.
No, I promise you, Hunter knows the story. Hey, it's early in the morning.
It better be the truth.
I tell the truth. I don't lie.
Don't leave anything out.
It's about 6:30 in the morning. This is the days when you had to go get the paper. We had a long driveway. It was a snow day from school, just like today was. I go out to get the paper. I'm walking down through the ice. I get the paper. I look to my right in the street, and I see a wolf.
It was a dog.
Shut up. Let me tell the story.
You've already changed it. You've already changed it. It wasn't a wolf.
Let me tell the story.
You live in Oklahoma.
Okay. Hey, guys, I'm an English teacher. This is why my stories are better. I look to my right. I see a wolf. I hightail it out of there to the front door. As I get close to the front porch, I slip. I fall on the ice face down. All I see is a puddle of red. My nose is bleeding. I look to my left, and there it is. I see the dachshund dog. The wolf was in my mind. It was a wiener dog, okay? That's the story. I don't lie.
Hey, the thing is, we all in the inside, my mom, dad, all of us thought that Jeremy actually got shot. It was that loud, the screaming. We thought he got shot. He did not get shot. He was laying there with the paper in hand. Yeah, it was. Yeah, let's get off this though, Jerm. Skinwalker. Say that. I can't either, man. These comments, dude. There's a name for that dog, Jerm. It's not what you called it. Okay?
Called a dachshund.
But that's not what you called it.
A dachshund is the name.
Is that what you called it?
Yeah, a dachshund.
Oh, I thought you called it the other name.
It's a wiener dog.
Oh, yeah. I mean,
I called it a dachshund, man.
Oh, okay.
I've taken swim lessons. I panic in the water, dude.
That's what I thought he called it, but Hunter, I thought he called it that too.
I said dachshund first. I said dachshund.
Oh, anyway. Moving on. What do we want to? Hey, we got to get to trivia.
Bring it.
As somebody says, they think Knowles coming to OU's a long shot. Trivia for the night. Before we get to it, make sure you check out thefanstop.com. Use code SURGE. You'll get 10% off your first 3 months. Okay. And you know what? Somebody read my mind. Ryan read my mind. He read my mind, Jerm. Dog trivia. Dog trivia. Here we go. Pretty simple question. Hunter, I'm doing this on the fly, bro, so I need AI Hunter to come through here. Okay? So, Hunter, you may have to look up the correct answer. Hang on a second. Hang on. Hold up.
Wait, hey, by the way, Really Real is keeping it real. And Really Real, the bite would have hurt less. I absolutely would have. Way to make me feel better. Wait a minute. Y'all need to get some rest. Yeah, it's been busy. This has been a great day. Hey, if you didn't check out the video with Brian Bedford from Recruit Route today, Hunter and I just asked him some questions about the executive order. He explains it and clarifies everything really well. No, cats are worse. Cats are worse, dude. Jeez.
Here we go with trivia. I texted Hunter so he can get this answer, but yeah, Germ still has dogs. Okay, here we go. Trivia for the night. Dog trivia. Pretty simple, I think. The question is, how many movies of the Beethoven series were there?
Are you at least ask Air Bud? Sports.
Beethoven.
Air Bud Sports.
Bro. Beethoven. I'm not doing an Air Bud. You could have asked a trivia. I'm going Beethoven. How many were there? You got to count all of them.
Correction said 6. Were there more?
I think that's the answer right there. 918 got it at 8. 8 Beethoven.
Are there more Fast and Furious or Beethoven movies?
Probably Fast and Furious, Jerem.
Okay. Man, yeah. You had to get me going on that, Jay.
Hey, I have a dog. You know where it sleeps? Right next to me in bed.
Okay, that's I'm done.
What?
Wow.
It's a little 8-pound multi-poo, doesn't shed. Great dog. Lap dog, just great.
I haven't touched our dogs.
You know what, Germ? I'll say this, Germ. Yes, I do pet my dog, and you know what? 918. Dogs never have bad days. They're the best. You could have the worst day of your life, and you walk home, and it'll greet you like it's the perfect day. Can't beat it.
Okay. Jay's fearless, man.
Fearless, baby.
Good for you, Jay. Good for you. I tell you what, I'm a little.
You know, I got to say this too. Our bed is a little bit up high. We have stairs for our dog to get up on the bed.
Oh my!
You know why? If you don't, them jumping up and down the bed, it'll hurt their legs sooner in life, and then they'll die earlier. So, hey, it's a great thing. We
got Greg back. I'm hoping he's going to rip you for that comment, Jay.
What's up, Greg?
I'm going to be Germ for a second. All right. So there I was. Oh, no. There was 5 feet of snow on the ground outside. I was getting the mail after school, and it was also in the middle of a tornado. There was a mountain lion between me and the mailbox. I took a straight line for the mailbox. Next thing you know, a whole army of SWAT team members come out and shoot me in my front yard. I'm on the ground screaming, but actually it was the left side Schooner Horse Lightning attacking me in the middle of the front yard. Okay, I'm just playing.
Sounds about right. Sounds about right, yeah. Greg.
Hey, and because of that, Really Real has become a member. So thank you, Greg. Appreciate that.
Hey, you're welcome.
Hey,
y'all
thanks,
take it
Greg.
easy. See ya.
Hey, take it easy. Hey, Really Real, you need to email us. SoonerSearchPod@gmail.com. Give you the link for the Discord, and make sure you do that tonight. Hey, let me say this. Sergeant Lincoln. Oklahoma right there, bud. So I do have my Oklahoma gear on.
Hey, I have to get to Daniel's comment about the dog that has the strongest bite. I think I know the answer to this.
Is it a pit bull?
Well, when I go to the zoo, there is one thing, one at the Tulsa Zoo, there's one animal that I always walk by and get a little bit freaked out by. Can anyone answer that? It's another trivia question. At the Tulsa Zoo, there is one animal that really just kind of freaks me out a little bit.
Wait, there's no dogs. There's no dogs.
Yeah, there are. Oh, yeah, there are.
There's no dogs at the zoo.
There is.
What zoo are you at?
Daniel's
Hyena?
right. Daniel, it's not the hyena, but it's similar to that. It's the African painted dog, it's called.
That's not a dog.
It absolutely is.
Oh, geez.
Hunter, the most important research you've ever done on the Sooner Search happens tonight on January 10th or whatever it is. What is an African painted dog classified as? They're at the Tulsa Zoo.
Wolf. Jackson says wolf. Zaya says wolf too.
Yes, Daniel says that's a dog, Jay. I know this, man.
What are we doing tonight on this show? What are we doing?
Well, Jim Knowles is going to bring some dogs with
here we
mindset. Because they got some, it's called painted dog.
Well, here's the question. Here's what I got to ask the chat. Do you want wolves on defense? Or do you want wiener dogs, as Jeremy puts it?
Well, OU has some dogs on defense. I like what they've got. We can go for a little bit longer since we haven't even talked a lot of sports right now.
You know what? It feels like a Saturday to me. It's only Friday. Tomorrow's Saturday. It's great.
Correct.
Is Bigfoot real? Serious question.
Oh my goodness.
Well, I'm serious.
I mean, the last time I saw him, it's been years, Jay.
I would definitely be the Arnold Schwarzenegger, right?
Well, yeah, you would be, Jay. I won't say what I was going to say, so I'll stop there.
Just say it.
Come on. I'm not. It could get a strike or something.
Jay's bored. I'm not bored. Hey,
listen. Going back to tonight, guys. Steve's. I haven't listened to the post game because we came on immediately after the play was made, where Jack Sawyer strip sacked and took it to the house and made the house call. Steve Sarkisian, the last 2 years, has got to be having nightmares about the playoff. This is Buffalo Billish.
Buffalo Billish? What are you talking about? What? Buffalo Bill?
If they get to the playoff next year and lose in the same type of fashion, it's Buffalo Billish with Jim Kelly.
They're not in the championship game yet.
I'm saying the playoffs compared to the Super Bowl. Yes, absolutely it is, Jay. The way they lost, look, they should have beat Jay. Weren't they driving last year to win the game, or was it to tie the game against Washington? Pretty sure they had a chance to win the game there in the red zone.
I don't remember. Yeah, I don't remember. Yeah, the Lacey stuff's wild. Just bad situation, man. The Kyron Lacey stuff, awful.
Hey, yeah. It's
Let me ask this. I'm going to throw this question out there because people are talking about in the chat. I don't think it's going to happen. I'm going to clarify. I'm going to say it right now. Sark's not going to leave Texas. I don't think he is. Say he did, who would be the number one guy they go after, in your opinion?
If Sark leaves, who are they going after?
I don't think he's leaving. I'm asking, who do you think they would go after? Hunter said Dillingham.
They would have to get someone bigger than that.
Let me ask this answer.
Kalen DeBoer.
How about Lane Kiffin?
Oh man,
he's very similar to Sarkish as far as play calling, as far as being at other
Ben
schools.
Ben Johnson. I think Ben Johnson gets an NFL job.
Hey, Hunter, real quick, we've had this conversation before. Why do people think Lane Kiffin would not leave Ole Miss? He's not going to ever win anything there. They're not ever going to make the playoff there. They're not. They might make the playoff. They're not ever going to win anything. I don't.
His daughter goes there too.
How old is she though? Like what year?
Hey, Okie Long Guy, how can you not pull for Baker? And the people earlier that said Kirk Herbstreit can't stand Baker Mayfield. Well, duh, Baker planted the flag at the middle of the
No, Kirk actually likes Baker, I thought.
I was just responding to what people said, Jay.
Daniel says he could see that, but he thinks Sark is a better coach. I think they should hire a coordinator from the NFL. I wonder why. You know what, though?
I was going to say the same thing. Why aren't they?
Here's a good question. With the way college football's going, it's going more to a professional model. Does that equal guys coming from the pro back to college? Because they don't have to, the recruiting, you still have it, but it's a lot of, you have evaluations, you pay players. Can you start getting more guys to leave NFL for college? I mean, I wonder if you could now. I mean, look at Bill Belichick. Although, did you see Bill Belichick? Hunter, I don't know if you can find it this very quick, but he basically set it up where right now, if an NFL team comes and gets him, he banks like $10 million. Did you see that? Whoever is his agent, it was an unbelievable agent. If an NFL team, which they're all wanting to interview him now, if he goes to the NFL, he gets $10 million for being there for what, a month and a half? Unbelievable. Hunter, is it $10 million? Is that the right amount? I think it's pretty close to that.
He wouldn't get the money, Hunter says.
Okay, they have to pay it though. The school would. Okay, whatever it is. Sorry, I guess yeah. Okay, I see what you're saying. So,
hey Jay, right now I want you and I want the people in the Surgeaholics to do this too. Also, check out the Fanstop, thefanstop.com. It's amazing stuff, guys. Please rank right now, Jay. My phone's about to die already. Rank right now the top 5 portal gets for OU.
Top 5 portal gets?
Portal gets.
Well, I'm not going to do it in any particular order. I'm going to go Kendall Daniels, John Mateer. We'll go Giovanni Gibson. That's 3. Is that 3? I think that's 3.
Marvin Jones on there?
Marvin Jones, 4. But I think he's a wait and see. You got to see it. I could have mentioned 5 Kennesaw players, but I didn't. Did you see that? I could have done that.
Yeah, I think my 5th is probably Satania.
Really?
A lot of people have Keontez Lewis in there.
Simmons. Michael has Simmons, the lineman. We'll see.
And I do like Giovanni Gibson's build. Devin, werewolves don't scare me.
Are they real? Are they real?
They definitely don't scar me. They don't scar me.
Wait,
now,
are they
I tell you what, scarring Sarkisian right now is the goal line calls. That's scarring Sarkisian.
But werewolves aren't real, are they?
That's what I just said.
Oh, okay. Hey, I hear that the Georgia quarterback got $4 million. Far cry. Are you talking about Beck that went to Miami? But isn't Carson Beck dating one of the Cavender girls?
Yes, correct.
So that's why he went to Miami.
Correction said werewolves are real, and hey, Michael J. Fox played one in the movie. Hey,
wait, werewolves aren't real.
No, hey, Okie Long Guy. The only thing I can think of how he's feeling is maybe all right. I just had to. Sorry.
Coop's got Simmons, Gibson, Daniels, Jones Jr., Mateer. Cliff Kingsbury. Now that's a great name for Texas. Is that for the Texas coach if Sark left? Okay.
I could see that. Who's there? Hey, who's the DC at Texas? He's good.
What's that? Oh,
who's their DC?
He's an older guy.
Yeah, who's their DC?
I like him. Team Wolf is real.
Great movie.
Kwiatkowski, there it is.
Yeah, that's
he's
right.
very good. He's very good. Pete Kwiatkowski.
What's his age? What's his age? Probably 55.
I would guess
52.
mid-50s. But I don't know his past. I don't even know where he came from. But hey, you know what? I loved what he did today on this game. Second half, he started really disguising. I thought he called a great game. Their defense kept him in the game.
Both sides. I mean, Sarkisian called 2 great plays to Blue out of the backfield when he knew Knowles was calling a blitz. Like, it was some big-time stuff going on. But then at the end, Sarkisian, I just thought, should have went with what's worked all year, and that's Arch Manning in the jumbo set. He's 58. Al Golden for Notre Dame's another great one. How old's he? Probably upper 50s.
Hey, and Chuck, I don't think I said that I'd be worried about how old they are, did I? I don't remember saying that. If I did, I may be wrong. I don't remember saying I'm worried about it.
The only thing, Jay, about Notre Dame and your Notre Dame, your call about Notre Dame is they are a little bit one-dimensional.
Yeah, but here's the thing. When they need a play, Riley Leonard's been making them. He's been making some big plays.
If they're going to load the box and stop the run, Riley Leonard's got to make the plays.
Who won it all last year, Jerm?
What?
Who won it all last year?
Michigan. Same style of offense, yes.
McCarthy was not just the most talented quarterback ever. Hunter dropped him in earlier. The 10 lasted in the whole decade. There has only been a couple. Okay. I'm not picking them because of their offense as far as like throwing the ball all over the field. I'm picking them because I think they have a really good defense and I think they can run the ball. And that's why I'm picking them. Tyler says Ohio State wins by 14. I think the majority of people that are picking Ohio State are picking them by 2 touchdowns. And it could happen. Okay. I'm not saying that can't happen.
I agree. That could happen.
So first round pick, he was what I mean.
Yeah, I don't know.
You know what he also did? He picked up stuff with his legs, and that's what Riley Leonard can do too.
Yeah, Greg God SGA OKC really responded well after the loss. Aaron says, "Hit the like dogs." I love it. I love it, man.
Hit the like dogs.
Hey, it's been fun, guys. It's been fun.
Yeah.
Now you got to wait another week. You got to wait another week for the Jim Knowles stuff.
Yeah,
the saga continues.
So you think nothing's going to be? They're not doing anything until after Ohio State loses or wins, whatever.
That's what I think,
and that's fair. I get your point, and Michael dropped it in here that George Stoya and Parker Thune have said that they're going after a top DC. Well, I mean, if they haven't hired one, then I guess that makes sense. I think the big question is, and this is where it's all gonna hinge, and nobody knows the answer to this, or nobody's reported that they know the answer to this, is what is Brent Venables wanting to do? Is he wanting to give it up to somebody? Because I'll say this right now. If I'm a OU fan and I'm wanting to give it up to one guy to call the defense, I mean, there's not many guys better than Jim Knowles right now.
But you know who's almost as good is Al Golden.
Al Golden's good. I agree. Daniel's picking Notre Dame. He's jumping on with me. We're on Notre Dame. We're going to ride it. It's too early, but I'm going to say my pick anyway, Warriors Paradise. You're getting a pick from me way too early, but right now my pick would be Notre Dame 20, Ohio State 17. That's my pick.
That's about the score I'm going to go with. I'm not picking it. Hey, Johnny boy, hope you feel better, man. Hope you're feeling better tomorrow. Hey,
thanks for joining us today, Johnny. Appreciate you.
And everyone, some of you have been with us this morning. You also hopped on the softball live. Maybe you've checked out the Brian Bedford recruit route video about the executive order and NIL. If you haven't, check it out. But as always, massive thanks to everyone that's been hopping in the chat, commenting, calling in. You guys that are members of the Discord and Sooner Surge Unlimited members, really, make sure you email us tonight at SoonerSurgePod@gmail.com, and anyone else who wants to join up as far as membership. Thanks so much. It's Saturday it's almost Saturday. You guys have a great Saturday. We will see you all tomorrow night. It's Wild Card Weekend.